So I've been putting carpeting in the 76 Corvette, and I've been taking the videos of it, and they are long, and I'm just going to put this little clip in the front of each one because there's a lot of useful information in there, and sometimes I find something out late in the video. So if you're going to do this job, you might want to watch all the videos all the way through, because I'm not going to take the effort to edit it so that the tips are at the front or anything like that, because it's a lot of work. So that is the part of the rear carpet that goes up in the back of this storage compartment and down over the floor to the doors on the storage compartments. What I've found out is they've got this padding on this carpet, and let's see if I can get a good view of that. That is what they had holding it in, and the way this measures so that these tabs fit in where they're supposed to go, I would have to go through this pad and the carpet, and that's not going to provide me anything to hold it with. So I'm going to cut maybe about 2 inches of this pad off here, and instead of using this that came with it, I'm going to try to use the more modern upholstery clips. Basically, you know, new cars, they use those for almost everything. Fenders and plastic wheel wells and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to try to use that, but first I'm going to take about 2 inches off that padding, and I'm also going to measure and cut out a section of the padding right here that is going to go around the light in that back compartment. There's a bump out that the light bolts into. So I'm going to just cover, it's going to be a 2-level hole basically. I'm going to go around that whole thing and remove that padding, and then I'll cut a small hole in it to fit the actual light fixture. And then I'll find those holes the same way I did for the clips in the back. Stick a pick in it and then punch the holes in it. And then I will have to trim in front of the storage compartment frame, I guess I'll call it. And there is so much padding there. I was going to cut that wire, but I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it long, maybe I'll cut it. We'll see as I take it apart, decide what I'm going to do. So there's my pick through the carpet, and you'll notice it's not going through the pad, so that I can get this in there and have enough reach. And I found that my 7/16 punch is going to be probably about the right size for that, so I'm going to shut the camera off, and since you've seen me punch holes in carpet before, I am going to just punch that hole in, and then I'll measure some distance down here for that metal bracket that the light is on. Oops, you didn't even see that. Maybe you did. I'll be cutting a chunk of the padding out, just the padding for now. And one thing I noticed when I was in there fitting it is it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get that to lay flat right away. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than try to tuck it all the way into the corner where this goes from horizontal to vertical like that, let me turn this around. So it's going to be somewhat like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but there was always a hump here. So I'm going to leave this a little bit away from the corner right here, so that once it's in and it gets stuff put on it and it needs to move, it can move back into the corner. Not a whole lot, I mean, maybe half an inch. Nothing that you would ever notice. The other thing that's going to happen in order to get that frame for the storage compartments in there, I'm going to have to cut out about 3 inches of this padding as well to get it so I'm only putting a layer of carpet under that frame, because I'm afraid that if I try to put padding under that frame, it's going to be a situation where I won't be able to compress it enough to get that frame in there properly. So I've got a hole in it. You can't see it from here, but I've also got one of the clips that I'm going to use to put it in with. Just see how that fits in there. That looks like that'll go nice, and I'll have enough room to get a bite through the fiberglass. I'm going to try to put this in position without having the clips in it, just because I don't want to have to try to push it in and take it out. But if it's being a problem that I can't get it to stay in there while I'm measuring for the other hole, I'm going to I will clip it in, and then I'll have to undo the clips. That's a little easier said than done, but it is what it is. Okay, for that cutout for the light, I measured down from the bottom of the hole, so that's right there, and it was 5 3/4 inches down, and it needs to be about 3 inches long, so that means 8 3/4. And then 5 1/2 inches end to end. I'm going to wait until I have lines marked here to try to do the ends. Just because I'm going to have a better shot at getting it centered on that thing. So there's my box I'm going to try to cut out, and I'm not going to video the whole thing, but because I'm not cutting through the carpet, just the padding. And I'll cut this out as neat as I can, but it doesn't have to be, because it's going to be under the carpet. I just wanted to comment while I'm thinking of it. You don't want to cut through the carpet there, because the metal box that sticks out is bigger than the frame of the light fixture that goes on it. So you have to have carpeting covering that whole metal frame. But you're not going to want this padding under there. It's just too much to try to compress and connect it. Okay, what I've done here, I've trimmed a couple inches of the padding here so that this can fit under the frame of the lid for the storage compartments. And I've hacked out a space for that metal frame that the light attaches to. So I'm going to take this and test fit it again and try to make myself another hole for the next clip that holds it in. I don't know how much of this you might be able to see, but I'm going to video it and hopefully give you an idea of what you're working with here. I'll shut it off and get more light in there. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the level of where the holes are that I'm punching in the top where it connects it. But we'll see. Helps to fold this in half to put it in. Okay. That's where one of the hooks is going to be. The clips, clamps. I can feel the space for the light fixture. This is going to be close. Darn light fixture doesn't come off easily. So that's kind of holding it from going back. Oops, lost my clip through the hole. So I'm going to hook the next hole. Make sure that this is in properly side to side before we get this hole. Tough to find. There it is. Now I can pull this out. Double check to see if I can disconnect that light here. I still don't see an easy way to disconnect it. If there was one, it'd be under this other carpet that I've already installed, so we're going to have to cut out here and then raise this up, cut there, do it bit by bit. It looks like there might be some special tool that was used to insert this and then twist it. The clips for the light bulbs are they're wider than the slots in the plastic piece. Oh well. Maybe what I'll do is find the top of this and the side and measure how big it has to be to get it accurate. So for now, picking it out, punching the second hole. Not easy climbing in and out of this trunk area. be the same routine. I'll mark the hole, punch it, and we'll be set for the next measurement. So I've already put it in and put the 2 retainers temporarily in, because they're not locked down yet. And what I'm going to try to show here is marking and slicing the hole for the light, and then you probably can't see it from over there, so maybe I'll have to edit it out. But poking the hole for the 3rd and final clip that holds it onto the back. This is the hole right here. Done. To the bottom of it. Now I'm going to try to find the other hole here for the final one, and that's where the wires for my electric fuel pump go through, so that one's got to be the original clip that's got the hole in it. About right. Okay. Bringing it out again. I brought my magic marker in here with me. I'm going to mark it while I'm in here. So I don't have to do it. I can leave the pick in here because I'm going to need it 2 more times for the little holes that screw the light fixture on. I'm going to shut off the camera to save video time before I pull that out and go punch the hole. So what I did is I cut that little square out using the 2 lines that I had cut with the razor knife. And then what I did is I took the piece that I took out and I compared it to the size of the hole in the metal mounting point for that light. Decided it was a little bit too small, so I enlarged it a little bit, and then I took it in, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the video here. Let me try to zoom in, but I've got the light fixture through. I had to put it in diagonally to fit through the hole in the carpet because it was too wide to go in the same orientation. But I've got it started halfway through, and I'm going to try to position that. And in the meantime, I think I decided I'm going to have to live with a little bump in my carpet because I think the way they glued the padding onto the back of it, it's got a built-in hump in it. Okay, so there's that. Pull this all the way through. Should go that way. That's pretty good. See if I can put the other aligning hole in. My pick go. There it is. So now what I'll do is I'll punch that hole, screw that screw in, and come back with the pick and find the other one. Just like we did for the hold-on clamps on the wheel wells. So I'm going to shut the camera off. Maybe I'll zoom in on that so you can see how I've got the pick located to the hole. So it's just going to be a matter of punching that out, taking it back in, screwing it in, finding the other hole, punching it out, and that part of it will be done. So I had to pull that carpet away with the pick through the light fixture and mark it before I take it out of the car, because I have to slip the light fixture back through that hole in order to get the carpet out. So I've already marked it with a magic marker. I'll pull the pick out. Put that here where I can use it when I come back. Pop the light fixture back through the hole. I'll take this over and punch my hole. So it took me a while to find that, and I do have a recommendation here is, since the wires come in from the right hand side as you're looking at it, if you can get that screw hole identified first, I think it would be a little bit easier to find the second one, or to put the screw in after you've punched it. Because I was having trouble finding the hole and I couldn't rotate it out so that I could see anything, because the wires were on that side over there where the pick is right now. So there's the light fixture in place. I'm going to run 2 wires for the fuel pump through this grommet. Plug it in and put 2 real clips in the back to hold those up, and except for some minor trimming when the frame for the storage compartment lids goes in, that part is done. So here's the carpet installed in the back of my 76 Corvette. I have just one word of advice. If there's a possibility that you could purchase carpet and pad separately with the pad not attached to the carpet, that's what I would recommend. Watch the rest of the video and you'll find out why. So looking into the rear compartment of the 76, and I have got the bump out of the carpet. Let me show you what I've done and what the cause of it was. What I have done, I'm going through this entire black pad, separated the carpet from the pad, because, and what happened was, back in this area here where I was getting the bump, there was actually no glue on the padding. So what happened was, as you push the padding in all the way, the carpet didn't want to take the bend and it just bumped up here. So in doing that, I found that I should have cut more off of this edge here. But I'm not going to pull this back out, because it involves getting way up in the back there and taking the light and everything. And by the time I would do that to take it out, and then take the carpet over to where I could cut it and then put it back in, I think what I can do is just take a pair of scissors and be cramped up there for a little bit while I cut it, but I think I can do it without removing it. Okay, so that's trimmed, and I know that I did that in a lot less time than I could have taken that carpet out and reinstalled it, because it only took like 3-4 minutes to get in there and cut it.